Hello everyone, welcome to Beaver's Hobby Channel, and in this video we're gonna take a look at the DriftArt 2.5 Classic Edition, which is the standard edition for the current DriftArt series. This one is sent to me by DriftArt itself, and he is kind enough to pre-build it for me, and here it is. Appreciate your test drive. I think I will. He just did that, so because I'm quite busy, so I don't have time to build another car, so he just did it for me, and I can go straight to test drive immediately. And he also gave me the servo, which is really nice because I've just ran out and I don't have any servo to use right now. In this video we're gonna see why is it so good and why is everyone recommending it. I'm gonna have to find something to cut the car out, but before that let's see what do we have. We have the car, which is pre-built of course, and then all the parts are also included with the tools as well. So we have linkages, bolt caps, screws, another servo horn, some other plates, and all the springs. Another great thing about DriftArt is that it comes with all the springs, so you can tune the car very easily without having to buy anything else. And he built the front and rear bumper with it. So I'll have to take these out because I use miniature body, and these are for the 1/24 scale, so we can use the magnet to mount the body, so I'll have to take them out later. Get this out as well. And here is the car. The first thing you're gonna notice is the steering angle is insane. It can go from there to there, which is almost parallel with a little bit of Ackerman, which is really good for drifting. Let's take a look more at the front. You're gonna see the arrangement is a little bit different from the other car because it comes in this triangle shape, which makes the front suspension really stable, so it doesn't wobble like other cars, which is really good. The steering is pretty simple. It just the linkages goes directly on the servo horn, but there's a trick. The servo tilted a little bit forward, and we can tune the toe out, the Ackerman, everything really easily by tilting the servo and moving it forward and backward. And then if you take a look at the front shocks, you're gonna see that it is really soft, and this is the softest suspension ever on 1/28 and 1/24 scale, which makes the weight transfer really pronounced. Now moving on to the middle of the car, the wheelbase is adjustable by just loosen these two screws, and then you can slide it forward and backward, and you're gonna have to adjust the body mounting as well, so you can slide that, and you can slide almost everything on the car. Moving on to the motor mount, you're gonna see that it can adjust the center of gravity really easily by just loosen these two screws, and then we can lift it up or slide it back down to adjust the center of gravity. So if we lift it up like that, you can see that we can slide the wheelbase back in really far. So that, and then just like that. And this is the shortest wheelbase. The shortest wheelbase is 86 millimeter, and the longest as you can see, this car is highly customizable. Okay, so take that out, move that off the way, and we can also move that out to make the car really long. But if we keep it like that, it is going to be 102.5 millimeter. Still, we can make it even longer by removing the side clips holder. If we move that out, it can go like that, which is insane. And the wheelbase is now 123, and this is the longest wheelbase you can use. Let's put everything back together, because I'm gonna use it with 94mm wheelbase with mini Z body, so I'm gonna need this side clips mount. Moving on to the back, the gearbox, as you can see, it uses the belt drive system, which is really smooth and really quiet. Another great thing about DriftArt is that you can adjust everything without buying any extra parts. If you want to adjust the rear toe, you loosen these two screws, and then you can move the arms in and out to adjust the toe. Because I don't want to ruin the setup he did for me, I'm gonna show you using my DriftArt 2.0. If you want to adjust the rear toe, you just loosen these two screws, and then you push the arms however you like, hold them, and then you tighten the screws back in, just like that. It is really easy to tune this car. And if you take a look at the shock tower, you can see that it has a lot of holes that you can fine-tune the car very easily. So, because I'm gonna use it with this body, I'm gonna remove these front and rear mounts. Oh, and now we can see the rear suspension more clearly. The setup is much different than other cars. You're gonna see that it has this pole coming out from the top, and you can adjust pretty much everything from ride height and droop, everything from here. You can adjust how high the suspension is by turning this one, and you can adjust how much it go back down by this screw, and it has a lot of adjustabilities you can do. And then at the front, I'm gonna remove this. As always, with this car, you're gonna have to provide your own wheels and electronics. You're gonna need the Mini Z all-wheel drive wheels like these. After the motor, ESC and gyro I'm gonna take them from my 2.0 and move them to my 2.5. Okay, so that's too tight. Perfect. At this angle, you're gonna see that this car is really bouncy. You can pull it up and the wheels are gonna follow, and then put it back on like that. And with the body on, you can see that the weight plays a huge role in this car. And here's how to put the front lip on. This car comes with the custom front lip, so we can adjust how high we want it to be and how far forward we want it to be, which is really good. And that's the front lip. I forgot to mention, you can adjust camber, toe, caster and front width very easily. Camber are with these two arms, caster are these two, toe are these, and this one, and this one. And the front width can be adjusted with the two lower arms and two upper arms, as well as the camber. So we can screw these two in further and we can get the narrow chassis. At the back it is narrow as standard, but there are upgrade parts if you want to make it a wide chassis. With the 1.5mm offset narrow wheels, you're gonna get 68.5mm width. Well, since it comes as a wide chassis, let's not change the settings and go with a wide car as well. Instead of the Skyline that I was going to use, let's go with the Subaru Impreza, which is a wide car. And it should go on this car really well. And just to show you how soft the suspension is, there is all the electronics installed. Take a look at the back. It'll just drop down like that. This is how soft it is. But the front is a little bit harder. So what can we do when it is like this? It is easy. We can adjust this to lengthen the shaft like that, and it is going to come up a little bit, so we have to adjust the other side as well. It is better to use a plastic tool so we don't scratch it. And just like that, we increase the ride height. If it is not enough, we're gonna do it more. So when we put the body on, it is going to drop down even more. Unfortunately, the wheels don't clear the body that well, so I'm gonna change it to something else with 0mm offset and round tires. In conclusion, the 2.0 was already very good, and the 2.5 is even better, with better linkages that you can adjust easier, and better steering angle. It is very easy to drive. Unfortunately, it is pretty difficult to get hold of, especially if you are in Europe. If you are in Asia and America, there are many distributors that you can buy from, and also in the UK. But if you are in Europe, it is pretty difficult to get one without a massive import tax. But anyway, I have the link to all the distributors in the description below. Well, what's next for this car? I'm gonna try and tune it to 90mm wheelbase with narrow front, so I can fit this body, which is the S2000 that I've just got a few days ago. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching and see you again next time.